Rock Nation in Can anybody hear me? Put a one in the chat if anybody can hear me. All right. Oh, okay. Much better. Much better. Okay. You know what this is? This is the updated addition to the uh, Sade Robinson case, the woman who was brutally murdered uh, last week. And I'm gonna give some thoughts, some commentary, like a conclusion, and some a piece of advice, because every family, every community must have these words in their home: protection, protection, protection at all costs. Protection, protection, protection at all costs. You already know what it is. I'm going to play the updated video version of this video.
About a severed body part. 11 miles away from the shores of Lake Michigan in a Milwaukee West Side neighborhood, a body part is found at a playground. Within 24 hours, police respond to another call about the discovery of human remains. On Saturday, just a few blocks from the same West Side Milwaukee area as Friday's discovery, police set up a crime scene near a park.
After a car is found on fire, paired with a pet tribute blanket found near some of the human remains, police begin to focus on a beautiful young teen girl, Sade. Listen.
Sade Robinson graduates with honors a semester early from Riverside High School. She continues her education at Milwaukee Area Technical College, working towards her associate's degree in criminal justice. In fact, she's only a month away from graduating, but Robinson hasn't been spending all her time in the books. She works through high school and college at the Pizza Shuttle on Milwaukee's Lower East Side. She makes such a difference at work that her coworkers say Robinson is considered the heart of Pizza Shuttle. Former owner Mark Gold says she is the type of employee who never calls out and is loved by customers and her coworkers.
Joining me is a very special guest along with an all-star panel. Seriously, the Brain Trust. But just hearing Holden Zappel speaking from crimeonline.com about Sade, she's everything you want your child to be. She's this fantastic student. She is working while she's going to school, very close family, tons of relatives in the military, and she is inspired to consider the U.S. Air Force. I mean, this is the girl we all want to have. And just look at her. I remember my grandmother, I would give her my school picture every year, and she could say, I can just see the mischief coming out of your eyes. Look at this girl. Can't you just see the joy, just the love of life?
Why in the well, let me tell you. That's what I said before. What is a teenager? Was it she was 19? She's still in her teen. That's why I don't call her a teenager. I call her a teenager. With a 33-year-old man who looks like he's been in the coal mine. 33-year-old man who looks like he retired from the Ku Klux Klan, or excuse me, still in the Ku Klux Klan. I don't know what it is about our sisters who loves and respects people like this. I can't fathom in my mind. And then now I'm surprised that divested sellers are not getting involved in this. But then again, maybe I'm wrong. What do the divested sellers of the world have to say about this white man sodomizing and dismembering this young black kid? I don't hear anything. I don't hear nothing at all from the divested zealots or these other feminists in the world. I don't believe in that feminist crap. All that started with a white. But where is the outrage for these white folks that are dismantling our children? Where are they? Where's the outrage? I don't see it.
Knife, crackling, smart, just beaming out of her. How in the world did she cross paths with an alleged spoiled brat killer, the son of a Milwaukee millionaire?
A Milwaukee millionaire. So, the plot. And you know what else I'm thinking? Well, I'll tell you this in a minute. You got some famous rich kid that possibly maybe owned this particular bar. Allegedly. What the fuck was she doing in the bar? 19-year-olds aren't allowed in bars. You have to be 21. 21 and over. Why are we in bars? And why are we driving her car? And why are we going to a man's house on the first or second date? It doesn't matter. This is quite interesting. Sad, demoralizing, but yet interesting. Again, I would like to call out all the feminists, all the naysayers, all the blah, 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 all these women who have a problem with certain men. Where is the outrage? I would like to know. You have a grown 33-year-old man who should have his head cut off for everyone to see, but yet he's probably not going to get too much prison time, because they allegedly they don't have enough evidence. You mean you don't have the DNA? Because all it takes is DNA. After the DNA testing, your sample of blood on her corpse, on her means, you're off. You're off to prison for life, possibly death row. So here we have a 19-year-old going to a bar, not old enough to drink, but is with this man. They take her car to his house. Downstairs, he has a sex dungeon. She probably said no, because I'm not that type of a girl. There's two scenarios. One, they probably allegedly had sex. He had something triggered in his brain, X'd her out, decapitated her whole means, because this clip that I should be playing, I should say it all, because they found the rest of her means. But again, I would like to give my condolences to the parents. I would like to personally know where's the father? Where is the father? Where's that daddy?
Showed Sade Robinson's car driving away from Maxwell Anderson's home the night he killed her.
Now, this new video comes after more body parts were found today along Lake Michigan. CBS 58's Adam Reif live in studio to break down the new information for us. Adam?
New video from the night of the murder, new body parts discovered, and today we also heard from Maxwell Anderson's family for the very first time. This all comes as Sade Robinson's family plans a public vigil to honor her. Here's the new video. Prosecutors say that's Sade Robinson's car. The home security video shows the car heading south down the alley that leads away from Maxwell Anderson's garage. The video is timestamped at 12:47 a.m. in the early morning hours of April 2nd, roughly 3 hours after Anderson and Robinson arrived at his home. In the video, the car turns west. From there, investigators say Anderson went to Warnemont Park and locations in Milwaukee to dispose of her body parts. According to cell phone data and more surveillance video, they believe Anderson killed Robinson sometime between arriving at his house and leaving Warnemont Park. More body parts were found early Thursday morning when someone walking along a beach in South Milwaukee discovered Robinson's torso and arm had washed ashore. Angela Buchanan lives nearby.
I can't imagine what Sade's family is going through. Nobody will ever be able to understand that. You can't ever relate to that. But just knowing that this happened so close to home is such a hard thing.
The torso and arm were found several miles south of where Robinson's leg was first found on the beach near Warnemont Park. Memorial flowers were left at the gate Anderson crashed through the night of the murder. Sade's name had been spray painted in the sand by supporters. But more body parts are still missing.
I do hope that they're able to find the rest of her remains, just so that the family can have a proper burial for her and they can have some closure.
Also Thursday, Anderson's family broke its silence. Through his son's defense attorney, his father, Stephen, issued a statement on behalf of the family. It said in part, quote, "I would like to express our deepest sympathy and heartfelt condolences to the family and loved ones of Sade Robinson. We are shocked and devastated by her senseless death." That statement did not mention Maxwell Anderson or the charges he faces. The sheriff's office says the search for evidence is ongoing. Even before the arm and torso were found today, they had contracted a sonar boat to search the lake. That boat will head out tomorrow. Also tomorrow evening, Robinson's family will hold a public vigil for Sade. It'll be at Kilburn.
So, we first encountered a leg, and now we encounter an arm and a torso. Next should be her head. And I don't mean to be graphic, but when you have a psychopathic murderer, a demon actually, what does it say? Demons don't have any power. They don't manipulate the mind. Well, certainly they've manipulated this person to the point where I have to dismantle it. Where is the father? Where is the father? Where are this is the reason why we need fathers. And I have to get on you, and I have to get on you ladies about this. You need healing. all of us need healing. All of us need healing at this time. Hello, Dawn. How are you? All of us need healing. But for the simple fact is this, and hopefully I don't sound off, hopefully I don't sound harsh, but some of you ladies need to grow up. Now, I understand that there are some particular men get on your nerves, especially with this online drama, this quote unquote fake gender war. It was only called that because people on YouTube wanted to make money. That's facts. It was trending. Facts. So all you have to do is, if you're talking about something like this, no one gives a damn. But if I unplug all of what I've done throughout my years being on YouTube and just did nothing but want to be angry man crap, want to be Kevin, well, not Kevin Samuel, the manosphere. If I just did manosphere crap, if I just did red pill crap, this would have been filled to the freaking brim. Filled to the freaking brim with men with understanding from other men who feel that women don't give them the respect that they deserve. But I got news for you. Some of them are right. Here's why. You have given it clarity that you cannot be in relationships because of the stereotypic genre that I don't need a man. I hear this all the freaking time. I don't need no man. I'm independent. I got my own stuff. Blah, 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 blah. He don't want to do nothing for me. He don't want to do nothing for me, so I'll do it all by my damn self. Then you got your gold. Then you got your well, I don't want to call them whores. Let's just call them workers. You got to change your way of thinking. Now, I'm not saying go along with the manosphere. I'm not. They're deadosphere as far as I'm concerned. When I see this, it concerns me. It doesn't concern me to the point where I'm gonna have to get wide. I got plenty of guns in my house. I'm not worried about that at all. But when my daughter steps out, or my son, you think sons are invincible? You think sons are not? You think boys are particularly not victims? You're dead wrong, because they are. Human trafficking is real. Human trafficking is still a thing in America, all across the globe. So we have to, at some point, take this stuff seriously and stop with the whole gender war nonsense. Why would a 19-year-old be with a 33-year-old man? Why? Why would she end up there drinking? I could have swore you had to be 21 to drink.
Why in the blue fuck would you have something like that dumb?
Oh man,
Why is it dumb?
It's stupid to me. At some point, we need to hold each other accountable, or let's start from here. When you go out on dates, what is the communication about? When a man tells you all about himself, he's wasting your time. Fact. Ladies, fellas, when all she wants to do, bless up Juba, when all she wants to do is go and just have a good time and spend your money, she's no good. Fact. Ladies, when all he wants to do is talk about himself in the third person, it's time to bounce. Fact. If all he wants to do is talk about sex, it's time to bounce. Fact. When he gets into his feelings, time to bounce. Facts. When she gets into her feelings, it's time to bounce. But I will guarantee you this. If I were single, I can never, ever, ever leave and jump over that fence and thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. Yeah, Black women always try this. Look at your results. Oh, he loves me for me. Oh, he loves me. He doesn't do me any he doesn't do me any wrong. He doesn't deserve me. He doesn't cheat on me. He calls you a nigga though. Yeah, but nothing. Bless up, Juba. Bless up. Now this woman had a future, but her future is ruined. It is gone. All because she wanted to have a good time with a man who looks like a serial killer. He is a serial killer, a rapist. A goddamn rapist, a goddamn murderer. But yet, Black women steadily, continuously go out with people like this. And these are your results. I can't find the Black men. Find them. Of all the men in this, if all the men on planet Earth, of all the Black men on planet Earth, whether it be for America, he be in America, he be in Jamaica, he be in Haiti, he be in Japan, Europe, British, Cuba. You can't find nobody who's Pan-African. You can't find nobody who's FBA. You can't find nobody who's Adolfs. You can't find a suitable Black man, really? Quite interesting. So makes her soul. She can't even, they can't even have a proper funeral for her. They can never, they cannot have a proper funeral for her because her remains are scattered all over. We don't even know if he took her spleen or her heart or any of her insides. We don't know. This is too much like Emmett Till. As a matter of fact, this is worse than Emmett Till. Way worse. You have to protect yourself. And we have to come together and stop this nonsense about this gender war nonsense. But yet you come on here and you support who you support. Oh my computer. I go. Stuck.
Former ex-high school football star, now a 30-something bartender. You know what? I want to get off him and back to Sade. Let me see that beautiful face again. Liz, I want to see that picture of Sade in her. Look at her. I like the one of her in her. She's at home. There's a big cross on the wall behind her, and she's got on her. She's getting ready for capping out. There. Oh my goodness. In addition to our all-star panel of trial lawyer Eric Faddis, renowned psychologist Dr. John Delatorre, death investigator Professor Joe Scott Morgan, and investigative crime reporter Alexis Tereszchuk, a special guest joining me. This is Sade's mother, Miss Gina Scarborough. I didn't know you were going to hold that up, and just showing that says it all. It just says it all. You know, Miss Scarborough, whenever I have to travel for work, my backpack is so heavy because I have all these mementos of the twins I carry with me and set up wherever I am.
No, I hear you talk about
And
your
it's
twins
just-
a lot.
It's just killing me to think that you have this picture instead of your girl. First of all, tell me about Sade.
Sade is beautiful, beautiful soul. I knew that my kids were very special and different. My parents raised me, they raised us. We are light workers. We put out positive energy, we exert, we help others. I'm a community advocate. As a personal way of my life, the way I live, I've worked for others, I help others my whole life. I've raised my daughters that way. My daughters have excelled. I have 2 daughters. This has caused so much emotional effect to my family, my parents, who love my baby so much, her grandparents, her uncles, her aunties, the community. Everyone has pulled up. This has affected many people in Milwaukee. I'm coming here today. This is the hardest thing I would ever have to do in my life, to speak Sade's voice. Sade was a beautiful soul. She was an amazing girl. Nancy, everything you spoke was exactly what my daughter exerted. I couldn't have asked for any better daughter. There was things my daughter did that many adults were not even able to accomplish in their lifetimes. And I'll be 43 in a week. My birthday's on April 27th.
Jesus Christ. So this is a young woman. She had her daughter at a very young age. She was murdered at 19. The mother is 43. Yeah, married. Yeah. At this particular point, I would like to also express my concerns for if she had other siblings precautions they're taking to ensure that the siblings are protected. These are crazy times, very crazy times, and even though this happens ever so often, too often as a matter of fact, where daughters and sons end up on the back of milk cartons. If you're not going to find them within 24 to 48 hours, you're not going to look for them at all, except if they escape, or there are very few miracles here and there. But the fact of the matter is, we have to protect our children. And on top of that, we have to educate and tell our children certain do's and don'ts, the certain aspects of life, and in hopes that one day that they'll follow suit in what you have taught them. Because with this, she was taught very little, and no disrespect to the mother, but again, I go back. I say this several times. What is a 19-year-old doing with a 33-year-old? Someone whose brain hasn't been developed to the, she still has years to go. But then you end up with a loser who's the son of a mayor, or is it governor? Whichever one, all of them are corrupt. So she goes and I know what certain men are going to say. Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about here, late. This is what I'm talking about here. Is that she dated him for the money. It's not necessarily the case. Maybe she found something in him that she couldn't find in none of us. The black, the brother, the hotel, the FBA, the Adolf. Maybe she couldn't find anything in us. So she went to this white cave bitch. And found joy and happiness in one day. I blame on. I honestly, I want to blame somebody, but it doesn't. Who do I blame? Can't blame the parents because they did all they could. They could have done more, but they could have did all they could. I can't just blame the whole total thing on her, because obviously she didn't know better. I would have started fact checking. That would have been me. I would have started fact checking. Let me do this. 1 second. I don't know what's going on with my laptop. I really don't know.
Sade's birthday is on May the 10th. I had her on Mother's Day. This son of a... I'm going to watch my language on this platform. This son of a took my daughter from me a month before she's graduating with her Associate of Arts degree. She works so hard. She's a full-time student. She has 2 full-time jobs. She has her own little bachelorette apartment. She doesn't stay in a college dorm campus. She has her own bachelorette apartment. She has her own car. She pays all of her own bills. This is traumatizing, Nancy. I never expected this to pull up on my front door. This isn't normal. This is a 2024 Jeffrey Dahmer. I need him held accountable. I need justice for Sade. There has been a lot of, many black and brown girls that have been gone missing in Milwaukee for a moment. And all of them are going to be held accountable now because they messed with the wrong family. They messed with the wrong family because we're not going to sit quiet and we're not going to sit still. And we're going to call all of them out and we're going to speak for the whole community because I'm not about to sit down and I'm not about to sit still on this one. It's justice for Sade, Nancy. It's justice.
Miss Scarborough, I feel like anything I or anybody on this panel could say right now, it pales compared to what you just said. And believe me, Miss Scarborough, this story of Sade has not just touched people in Milwaukee. It has touched people around the world. And when you say you're not going to sit back, neither are we until there is justice for your girl and the other missing and murdered girls across Milwaukee. They're not all just missing. They're dead. Many of them are dead. Guys, with me is Sade's mother, who is in so much pain, but she is joining us tonight to speak out for Sade. What happened? What led up to this night?
Yes, Nancy. Yes. Nancy, the last time I spoke to my daughter was on Easter Sunday, okay? We seen her. She came by my parents' home. We spent the Sunday together. This was Easter Sunday, okay? I cooked for them, both of my daughters. We all met by my parents' house where I'm currently at. We all commute here. All my girls are busy. My youngest is 16. They have a lot of activities. They're working. They go to school. I have very successful and independent, self-sufficient daughters. We harm and hurt nobody. We just put out and help out.
Mrs. Robinson sounds like she was a very young, vibrant, and educated woman whose future was looking very bright. It usually happens, all that, and it usually happens around this particular time. And men take clear advantage. Clear advantage. I heard some audio the other day that somewhat rings true. It's kind of harsh, but needless to say, I agree with it somewhat. That if you're going to pick a particular male, me, For those who know me, for those who have listened to me throughout the years, you know what I wish for. You know what I hope for. But we're all grown. We all make our own decisions. If you decide to get with a snowman, that's your business. Ladies, or fellas, if you want to get with a snow bunny, that is your business. You know what time. But she, even in that sentence, she does not deserve this type of death. It wasn't just a death, it was a slaughter. Now, again, we don't know, or he's been charged, but we don't know what his sentencing, if sentenced, because of the sheer fact that, again, DNA evidence, DNA evidence, DNA evidence must be in this case. He is guilty as all sin. But as white folks do it all the time, you need all the evidence. What more do you, this is me, what more do you need? Lock him up with the rest of the demons. He should have his own personal cell. You remember a law-abiding citizen with Jamie Foxx? That's what I feel. This is what I feel. She was captured, put in the sex dungeon, taped up, gagged up, and carved. That's what I do feel sorry for the mother. I feel sorry for the family. This is a long road to recovery, a very long road. And I heard they have a cash app or something of that nature. For those who have it, please donate to the family. They're gonna sue the fuck out of that. You're gonna sue the fuck out of the what is his name? I'm like, what the hell is this dude's name? What is his name? Mr. Anderson, Maxwell Anderson. God, this is devastating. It is. It's just devastating. And this is just evil on both parts. It's evil on just every aspect in this situation. It just feels evil. Now, again, I shouldn't be shocked at this because I hear this stuff every day. But when you look at that face, when you look at this face, you see innocence. Pure innocence. She almost looked like she's 12 or 14. This woman is 19 years old. Was 19 years old. And I swear, if I hear any brother talking, just say these words. You guys gonna get protection now? I'm gonna snap. I'm going to lose my mind. if I hear those words come out of anyone's mouth, it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter.
Others into the universe. Okay. So I seen like she it's just very it's like she's a 19, 20-year-old young lady. Okay. We all at this age, we have a lot of friends. She's not in a relationship. She didn't have a boyfriend. She wasn't tied down to anyone. She's single and she's dating. I knew she hung out with her coworkers at Pizza Shuttle. They went out to little bars and hung out sometimes. I'm a very concerned mother. I'm very overprotective. I always would put in Sade's ear, be careful. I don't trust these people from Milwaukee. Just that extra there's always to sit back, try to give space and be independent. I just been having tuition and I have been wanting her just to like not hang out and go out to places for some reason. And I don't know exactly. I'm still trying to find out the facts, but I know that this type of this individual, and I want to make clarity because there's been a lot of trolls, a lot of media. I can't interact until I'm right now. One, advocating not only for my daughter, but for all of the young women that are missing and for the actions that have been taken to find my daughter. And just there's a lot of information, but I need the community and people to know that my daughter helps others. She was a positive spirit.
Yeah, I don't mean to sound harsh, but yet again, you're gonna get these knuckleheads coming out of nowhere talking about what the fuck was she doing with a 33-year-old? She can't find nobody her age. That's why she needs a man. She needs a man to protect her. But yet you be the first nigga to want to get into some sexual stuff. Don't lie. And this is the reason why these quote unquote divestors divest. Because of bullshit like that. Because of wording like this. We want to quote unquote get with a woman because she's fresh. You remember this? You remember this? Deadosphere, dead pill community. We need to get with a girl who's fresh and vibrant. We can't get with anybody who's our age. Oh no. We can't get with anybody who's older, those who hit the wall, because of the simple fact that we don't need to hear all that lip. We don't need to hear all that criticism. We don't need to have a woman hold me accountable. Oh no. I don't want to hear from a woman. But you have no problems holding other niggas to the fire. It's not even about that. It's like that when you do some bullshit, can we hold you accountable? Here is a mother who no longer has her future, her sibling, her daughter, her love, her seed. All because of some idiot who wants to treat black women like they're cabbage. Want to carve her up, probably because he wasn't going to get any type of sexual attention, just because he has a sex dungeon underneath his crib. It's quite, and it's quite mind. But I ask this question again. Where is the father? Where is the father of Sade Robinson? Where is he? Where? Where is he? Is he anywhere to be found? I don't know. He should be outraged. But yet we have a whole bunch of women. I don't see no men. I probably would have saw one or maybe a few, but I don't see no men. None. I see a whole bunch of white folks. What the fuck do white folks got to do with this? Interesting. Got killed over somebody whose father who is a millionaire. It always seems to happen like that too. So you know what? I put it on or he said he probably a mayor or governor or something. He got money. That's all it is to it. I put it on him. But I have to find the excuse me, I gotta find this damn clip. This is disgusting.
This like they're claiming this was a first date. Like, you know, it's just the first date. This dude she never mentioned this dude's sex. And
we're learning a little bit about that. We're learning a little bit about that. Take a listen to Dave Matt Crime Online.
A month away from turning 20, Sade Robinson tells a maintenance worker at her building that she's excited about her first date with 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson. Robinson texts Anderson about where to eat and tells him she's feeling seafood. Anderson takes Sade to a place he used to work, the Twisted Fisherman. After dinner, they spend some more time together having drinks at Duke's on Water. The couple leaves Duke's together around 9 p.m.
Straight out to Alexis Tereshchuk joining us, crimeonline.com investigative reporter. I want to make sure that we're right about that. This was at most a first, maybe a second, but most likely a first date. Probably nothing that she was telling anybody about. Tell me how we know, Alexis, that the two actually went out, because reports are in our investigation tells us that there may have been either surveillance footage or witnesses placing them at Twisted Fisherman, where he worked, and then later at Duke's on Water. How do we know that they were together that night?
They met there. There are multiple surveillance cameras outside these restaurants, both of them, that show her arriving, walking through the east side of the restaurant. He arrived on the west side of the restaurant. There's such good video footage of this. This is just such a good, helpful part of the case. They go there together. He used to work there at the Twisted Fisherman. So the bartender there spoke with police and said they came in, they sat at the bar together, they had a drink. It seemed friendly and casual. Nothing that would alert the bartender to anything that was wrong. He said they just had a few drinks and they left within an hour. They then, according to surveillance, leave together, surveillance videos, to the next place.
Joining us an all-star panel to make sense of what we know right now. But to Miss Scarborough, this is Sade's mother. Miss Scarborough, when did you I know that right now you're at your parents' home. I know that Sade, as you beautifully described, had her own little bachelorette pad that she paid for from her 2 jobs. She's working while getting her college degree. Amazing. So when did somebody realize they needed to call you and ask, where's Sade?
Yeah, so it was Wednesday, Nancy. I was at my job. I went to work that morning. I got off as soon as I got home from work. I was receiving calls from like my mother, my brother. We were all concerned because we all have the 360 location app. Okay, we all share it as a family. So I have the app shared with me, my mom, both of my daughters. Then my daughter also shares, Sade, my oldest daughter, also shares the app with additional friends and like other groups. But I have my own group with her, myself, my mother, and my youngest daughter. So we seen her like at this location Monday. Like again, Monday night, Monday morning, I seen her getting ready for work. She FaceTimed me. Then that evening around 3:45, 4 o'clock, I got a text message from her asking a cash app for $15. My daughter does not ask me for money. My daughter makes more money than me. Literally. That boss. Okay. So it wasn't a big deal. I'm just that type of mom. You need something, I'm gonna cash app it. It's very strange that she asked me for $15 at around
You know
4
what's
o'clock
very
p.m.
odd about that, Miss Scarborough? It reminds me of when Gabby Petito went missing, and her family started getting texts that didn't.
Leave that. I want to go to it. What is it? Maybe there's more. Maybe there's more. Possibly. Maybe. Who knows? Let's see something. And I'm looking for this thing. And we're gonna go in, and we're also gonna go into depth into more detail about this situation. Meantime, in between time, I want you to look at something else. I want you to look at this and say, is this something that's wrong with Milwaukee? You're damn right something's wrong with Milwaukee.
Sound like her. For instance, she wrote about her grandfather. She texted about her grandfather.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's because I wasn't speaking up. But let me also go into this. Hold on. 1 second. 1 second. Let me see if I can find this on Wait, do we hear? I'm trying to see if I can hear from the parents of Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson's parents, what their excuse is for their son. Here we go. So they found, just in case you're hiding under a rock or something, they found some of the remains of Sade Robinson. Not only did they find a leg, they found the leg a week prior, but they found a torso and an arm. The search is still ongoing. The investigation is still going. The search for the rest of her remains is still ongoing. And hopefully she can have a proper funeral. They might just end up cremating whatever is left. I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked at all if the mother just puts up the remains for people to see. Quite gross, quite disgusting. But overall, this is a reality. This is a reality check. And I will be talking to some young ladies on Monday about this same situation. And my question is, why are ladies such a soft target? You know why you're such a soft target. See, people not realizing, people are going after people who not only are soft targets, but young men who don't have brains. And certain young men who just are at the right place, but at the wrong time. Sometimes it goes like that. Somebody else was a victim in Milwaukee. Like, what the hell is wrong with these people in Milwaukee? What the hell? I mean, Milwaukee seems like it's a lonely town. A lonely, sick
Tonight
town.
at 9, we begin with breaking news. The search for a critically missing woman is now a homicide investigation.
Milwaukee police tell us 41-year-old Tamika Stewart was found dead earlier today near 29th and Glendale. She was last seen Sunday evening near 10th and Center. According to police, they know who the suspect is, but they are currently not in custody. Right now, it's unclear how Stewart died.
Addressing the disparities, the Wisconsin representative is shedding a light on the state's high rate of missing and killed Black women and girls.
Fox 6's Durante Matthews joins us live with her mission to create a state task force. Durante?
And said Mary, Democratic representative, that is, Sheila Stubbs, says she's been fighting for this task force for at least the past 2 years now. And the recent death of 19-year-old Sade Robinson is only adding fuel to her fire.
My heart hurts for her family.
Representative Sheila Stubbs is brought to tears when thinking of the death of 19-year-old Sade Robinson.
We have to do something now.
Milwaukee police say Robinson was killed and dismembered earlier this month after a first date with 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson, who's now charged with her homicide. But violence against African-American women is an ongoing issue in the state that Stubbs says needs to be addressed now.
How many more Black women or girls have to be sacrificed in this state before we do something?
Data from the CDC says in 2020, Wisconsin had the highest homicide rate for Black women in the country. That rate doubled from 2019 to 2020.
There's a resource issue, and we need to handle it.
These numbers and issues prompted Stubbs to propose a bill 2 years ago that would create a task force for missing and killed Black women. The proposal failed, so Stubbs reintroduced it this session, fueled by the case of missing Racine woman Lashiki Hill. But Republican Senator Dewey Strobel never scheduled it for a public hearing in his Government Operations Committee. He sent us this statement saying, in part, "While I believe the authors of this bill are well-intentioned, I personally have reservations about creating a state government task force that focuses on only one facet of a much broader societal problem." Strobel ultimately released a proposal, which ended up getting bipartisan support in another committee, but it never made it to the full Senate floor. Stubbs says the fight is far from over.
What do we want? I am not, and you can take this one to the bank, going to stop until something is done across the street for Black women and girls.
And Stubbs says she's reached out to the governor. She also plans to meet with the attorney general to find some sort of way to make this task force happen. Live in Milwaukee, Durante Matthews, Fox 6 News.
like, share, subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. You see, the only and by the way, Lucas, shouts out to Lucas. Shouts out to you, bro. My, it's hard. It's hard to put in. It's hard to put in words. What you just don't want to imagine it for anyone else. I wouldn't even put that on my worst enemy. For anybody who I've argued with in the past, I've had, bad, those who acted just violent towards me, anybody who acted ignorant towards me, I wish no ill will. I don't wish this, I don't wish anything crazy on their children. I don't. I may have an issue with that person, but they're adults. These are nothing but children. But she's an adult. She was a young kid with a future, a bright future, who was still learning and learning and learning, and it all went to a close. There is a special place in heaven for her. A real special place in heaven for this woman. And when you can, if you can, for those that she had, the parents have a cash app, I guess, in pending. Find out what that is. Please donate. But again, I think specific talks should be made when it comes to Black men and Black women, because we are all that we have. We are all that we have in this life. Somebody should alert all these so-called dudes that have these big ass channels and say, yo, enough is enough, bro. Enough is enough. We have suffered enough. We have seen enough. This is not gonna end. It's not gonna end. It's not gonna end well. I'm so nervous for my daughter. I'm nervous with you too. I really am. But the only thing we can do is pray amongst one another, pray for ourselves, because we want to remain here for as long as we can, for as long as God is willing to have us here, to see that our daughters and our sons succeed, not only succeed in life, but move on, move forward, and grow old. But there's something about this life, this century, where you don't have to be 90. You don't have to be 80 to pass on. Carl Weathers is what, 76 years old? You don't have to reach 80. So whoever believes in God, go into your prayer closets. Prayer is a gifted tool. And for those who are spiritual, a very spiritual tool indeed. Go and lock yourself in that prayer closet. Pray to the heavens. Pray to God. Pray to the ancestors. Get your little tabernacle going. Get some food, get some water for them ancestors. and pray a day, a week, a month, however you feel is necessary. Make to ensure nothing is guaranteed. But I would bet high stake money. Well, let me not say that. I would bet my bottom dollar. I pray hard enough that my daughter's gonna be okay. My son is going to be okay. Your son, our daughter will be okay. We have to continuously educate our children about the world in its totality. Because again, it's all about energy. All this apps going on, all the killing, all the spreading of the bodies, all the shooting, all of it is bad. And it's continuing. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. So be prepared. Be prepared. If anything, prepare your children for the worst. I do it all the time with my daughter. I do it consistently the same. And I haven't even showed the video to her yet. And I will. And knowing my daughter, she's going to have plenty of questions. She's going to have plenty of questions for me. Because this is the thing. This is what we do. This is all we talk every day. Every day. And she's more smarter than I am. So and I'm teaching her, and I'm putting her in the martial arts, putting her back in the martial arts this summer. And then my son, he's in martial arts. But I tell her, just because you are in martial arts does not mean that you would be dumb enough to pick on somebody not your size, not your girth, not your strength. Because that's all these men have. That's what we are. We have size, girth, strength. We're masculine. We're a masculine group of people. But it doesn't mean we don't have weakness. You find the weakness, exploit it, get out of it. Find the weakness, exploit it, find the phone or give her the phone, get in an area where there's crowds of people, get on the phone, call the police, call me. I would rather you call me. I would rather you call me. Because no matter where I'm at, I'm coming to. I tell my son, don't start fights unless you have to use your art. I would rather you walk away. Because there ain't no fighting.
Father, but she called him by full name. That would be like me writing my producer right here, Jackie, and going, "Hi, Jackie, how's Jackie today?" It just doesn't make any. It's just wrong. So you get this test asking for $15, and Sade would never have done that. I mean, she could have charged Apple Pay, you name it. So you knew right then something was wrong. And then this, take a listen to Chief Jeffrey Norman.
Saturday, April 6th, MPD continued the search in the area and located additional human remains on the railroad tracks. Later in the evening on Saturday, April 6th, MPD returned to the area when Miss Robinson's family located her blanket. At this time, detectives located additional human remains.
According to court documents, the remains found Saturday included human flesh and a foot. The foot had pink nail polish, possibly matching the polish on the leg found days earlier.
Nancy, can
Another
I say
thing that
something
really-
real briefly? I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut
Yes,
you.
please
I
do.
just want to clarify that the community, I want to make this clear, okay? And I'm going to be holding all accountable that have been, I'm not blaming or attacking people. There have been detectives and sergeants that have been pulling up selectively on my team. There has been the community, there have been active members advocating for this case. I know it is affecting many, but there is some faulty things that have been being handled, okay? First of all, I want to correct all of the chief executives that are pulling up from my county and my community that are not pronouncing my daughter's name correctly. I respectfully thank you, Nancy Grace, and your team, the way you guys pulled up respectfully, asked me my name, asked me my daughter's name, and asked how to pronounce it. I respectfully thank you for that. I wanted to tell you that first of all and foremost, because a lot of people are pulling up and being disrespectful. And this is my own community, the mayor, the chief executive. They have not pulled up to my front porch. They have not told me they're sorry. They have not sent their condolences. They're on the news talking stuff. And the community are the members who found my daughter's remains and other items the second and third and the fourth time. The police was not doing their job the first time correctly. For the community to keep finding stuff and doing their own search parties, because I'm too weak to go out there and search for my daughter. I'm sorry, Nancy.
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. You're right. And I got to tell you something, Miss Scarborough. Guys, you are hearing Sade's mother. I always do that every case. And I did it with every case I ever investigated or prosecuted. And this is why this may mean something to you, Miss Scarborough. Because when my fiance was murdered at his funeral, it didn't make me angry or mad, but I remember in the middle of the funeral, I noticed it. The pastor kept referring to me as Mary throughout Keith's entire funeral, over and over and over. I mean, I wasn't angry, but I remember it to this day. And it's just one of those things that just stick with you. I know you don't care what any of these politicians say, but for Pete's sake, at least get the name right. At least do that much. Guys, we're talking about, it's so hard for everybody on this panel to talk about this with Sade's mom with us, but she says she wants justice, and justice comes at a price. Let me tell you that, and that price is suffering, and she is suffering right now. But I'm going to talk about these facts, because these facts are what I pray to God are going to put the son of a Milwaukee millionaire behind bars for life, because I believe in DNA. DNA cannot lie. Science cannot lie. Joe Scott Morgan, we just heard very upsetting details about fingernail and toenail polish on the remains. You tell me, guys. Joseph Scott Morgan, renowned professor of forensics, Jacksonville State University, which has an incredible criminal justice program. We've reenacted several crimes together. He is a professor of forensics. He is the author of Blood Beneath My Feet on Amazon. And now he's the host of a hit series, Body Bags with Joe Scott Morgan. Joe Scott, you know, we talk about DNA all the time, how you can match this and that, and every action has a reaction and leaves a trace. But when it comes down to human talk, like the color of Sade's toenail polish matches the color of her fingernail polish, we're talking about a severed leg and a severed arm. And somebody at the medical examiners went, look, the fingernail polish matches. I don't need DNA. A jury's not going to need DNA, but they're going to have it. Why?
Because every contact, as you mentioned, does in fact leave a trace. We've known that for over 100 years now. and it's coming to fruition here in the world in which we inhabit. You think about things like tool marks and all these other identifiers, fingerprints traditionally, but DNA is going to play a big role in this. And we're talking about proximity, Nancy, with the alleged perpetrator here. He will have had a very intimate contact, unfortunately, with Sade. My apologies, Mrs. Scarborough. I know that this is very painful, but there will have been an intimate contact on some level. Just this idea of dismemberment alone is going to leave a trace behind. And it's not necessarily his trace on her as much as it will be her trace on him potentially. And ultimately, it could be her, Sade, that actually brings him to justice. That's one redemptive point along this, because her DNA will be found on him, and it will be pointing a big accusing finger back at him.
On Wednesday, April the 4th, our investigation led to a person of interest.
Let's find out about our witch hunter, this devilish, ghoulish type of a person that just Sade was attracted to. Again, I don't know why. It mind boggles. It mind boggles me to some degree. And forgive me if I didn't put the link up. I was just going over some things, and it just hit me like a shot. It hit me in a way that I just hope to God it doesn't happen to my daughter, because if it did, scorched earth. But the only thing we can do is pray and hope that none of it is going to come to fruition. That's the only thing we can do. But the link is in the script. The link is in the chat box for those who want to express anything. Express about the men who have no sympathy. There are those out there. The Amazing Lucas is doing a fabulous job. Shouts out to the Amazing Lucas. There is one person I do want to, just because I'm in a real petty mood. I'm in a real petty mood with one particular person. One particular person. Meanwhile, let's find out about the so-called friend. And again, shouts out to this person for reporting.
Presentation time first. Sade Carlina, I think the second name is Carlina Robinson, was born on May 10th, helped her sister job. They said little sister in the article. I'm not too sure, how much younger. Sade, of course, was 19 years old. 19. This case. So please, in criminal justice. That is the career she wanted to pursue, a career in criminal justice. And how absolutely sad that she crossed paths with the person I'm going to look at, the defendant, the accused. We'll be looking at that red flag in a moment, but she met him once, by the sounds of it, from everything we know. It's first date, right? Wendy, thank you so much. Okay, so while young and still figuring out what she would do with her life, she had aspirations of joining the U.S. Air Force, said her mother. So she had big dreams, criminal justice, the U.S. Air Force. It sounds like she was very talented. Every year for her birthday, and her mom's birthday, because they shared, their birthdays were very close together. Her mom's on April 27th, so shame, man, that's coming up soon, and Sade's on May 10th. So every year, for her birthday and her mom's birthday, they had a meal through MATC's culinary program. And recently, before Sade went missing and then was found murdered, then her mom was saying, did you book the tickets? And she said yes, and they're really looking forward to their upcoming birthdays. Sade had recently taken a trip to Jamaica. Her mom said that Maxwell Anderson, that's the guy we're going to look at, the defendant, didn't seem like the company that Sade would keep. At this point, as a mother, I know somebody harmed my baby, and I'm going to need that person held fully accountable, she said. That individual will be haunted eternally. So if you would like to share, if you can like and share this episode, the family's using hashtag justice for Sade. So if we want to also add to that momentum for that hashtag, of course, we want to see full justice for Sade. So you can share it with that hashtag if you like. She was reported missing on April 2nd of 2024 when she did not arrive at work, which was not like her at all. It was the manager at Pizza Shuttle that was like, she would never miss work. So Waukesha County, I just remember Pewaukee saying that, right? Okay, so he previously worked at his father's insurance companies, Anderson's Insurance Associates and Insurance Associates of America. He was listed as a manager there in Waukesha County. That's where the Jesse Kruszewski, Lynn Hernan's case took place. Then we just watched the eye drops murder trial.
And he joined the military. So he was a Navy man. Quite interesting. Quite interesting. Most of these people who join the military, quite frankly, when it comes to PTSD, they become very hardened in the mind, which means they think one thing, and if you're not participating in something where you get it and start getting into that feeling, it's something that she may have said that triggered him up here, and now he's got hardened upstairs. And on top of that, he's been charged 3 times. Very small in particular cases, but 3 nonetheless. Those are some very crucial red flags. I mean, the biggest red flag is she's 19, he's 33. Where was it? Did she introduce this boy? He's not a boy even. Did she introduce this so-called man to the mother? It wasn't reported, so she never said it. So the answer would be no. The answer would be an emphatic no. Right? So you didn't introduce this dude to the mother. They went out, did their thing, went back to the crib, end of story. That is wild.
Now, the thing is that I've seen some articles, mainstream articles saying that he's a Nepo baby because his dad was the super successful business magnate insurance guy, and he also followed in his footsteps and was a manager. But I think if I really read between the lines here, it's like his dad helped him along, because maybe he couldn't get a job elsewhere or fit in with others. I don't know, because it just sounds like he is very unstable if we hear more about him, right? Okay. So his father moved to Florida and Maxwell stayed in Wisconsin, which of course is not like his father abandoned him, you know what I mean? Like he's 33, okay? He's 33 years old. These are pictures actually from a yearbook. So we're going to look at more pictures and mugshots in a moment. So he took Sade on a first date to a restaurant where he had recently worked. He He went there. He told people there that he's there to get his W-2 forms, which are those, I looked it up, okay? It says American tax forms. Remember, I'm not American. I'm South African, okay? I'm living in Switzerland. They're all called different things. But yes, his tax forms, he went to get there. He had recently worked there. So I'm just reading between the lines and saying, did he get fired? Because there's many... He seems to job hop a lot. And he gets drunk at work and things like that, according to former colleagues, okay? Allegedly. So it's weird that that's where he would take 19-year-old Sade on a first date. Like, let's go there. Yeah, I'm here for tax forms, but also I'm here on a first date. It's odd psychology, that, okay? So he has a criminal history, including convictions, not just allegations, convictions, for battery and domestic abuse. In 2015, there were charges of disorderly conduct, domestic abuse, criminal damage to property, and intimidating a witness. He also had this disorderly conduct charge in 2019, and for a second offense, drunk driving, in 2022. They said Anderson smashed a glass, punched a hole in the wall, and grabbed a phone out of the hand of another relative who was trying to call the police. They said that he needs some mental health assistance, and he reacted that way. Ooh, Stefan says Judge Jennifer Doro is in Waukesha County. Right? Also, welcome to all my moderators. Thank you so much for everything you do. Welcome to all my patrons, members, subscribers, anyone who's new here and any team. Are they going to show that? What's going to happen? That is when, they'll decide if there's enough probable cause to take this to trial, and then he can decide if he's pleading guilty or not guilty, or you can assume what he will be doing, right? He is innocent until proven guilty, but you know what I mean. Like, wow, it sounds like they've got quite a lot of evidence against him as well. The problem, a concern I have is the $5 million bail. I really hope his dad does not bail him out, because his dad is very wealthy. Please don't enable him. Maybe he won't, because the family, it sounds like there were some, instances where they'd called the police or tried to get him mental health assistance or something, right? Okay.
That would be my biggest fear. My biggest fear would be his dad bails him out of jail, $5 million bail, bails him out of jail, cops a plea, and they asked for, if you tell us where the remaining parts of Mrs. Robinson is, then we'll plead down and give you a lesser sentence. No death penalty on the table. That would be my biggest fear. Meanwhile, you have an outraged mother whose wheels are turning. What do you do when a mother can't get justice? What do you do when a mom simply put can't get justice? I'm gonna leave that one for you to think about. I'm gonna leave that one for you to think about. Let's get into the rest of this street.
So, a friend visited his home in June of 2023 and found that Maxwell had dug a massive hole in his backyard. He said it was about 5 foot long by 6 foot deep, and he was worried that Maxwell's dogs would fall into it. I don't exactly know how many dogs he has. I've heard of one dog, and then others say they saw him walking his dogs, so I'm not too sure. But they said he dug this massive hole, in his backyard, and he said it was for an underground basement. And his friend was like, it's a little weird because you have a basement. So that is very scary.
Digging holes in your backyard. Maybe Sade found something in his house that was very, very uncomfortable. And once he found out about it, go in his basement. And once she found out what possibly what he was building, because he was probably building more than just an underground sex dungeon. Why would you build something that big? It's for something else. It was for something else. Welcome once again, Emma.
What's up?
Now,
Yeah.
they found some of the remains, and I'm thinking if he had time, he was gonna bury her in his backyard. Possibly, maybe, allegedly. But I don't know how big I don't know how. I've never been to Milwaukee. I've never been to Wisconsin. I've never been to none of the places. The only thing I know is it's a hick town. It's no different from where I was born and raised, Lansing, Michigan. And with that area, that size, it holds like a small population. Right. I gotta ask because I know a person who lives in Milwaukee. I don't want to ask him, but it's necessary. JP. I want to ask Jay. I want to ask Jay Prince. Like, hopefully he knows the population over there. But
At this point, it's just me and you, We-On-Loc, because if he has something to add, then he needs to be over here. But you can go ahead and ask him.
He don't know. None of them know, and I don't think none of them care. Doesn't care because they were arguing yesterday about something and stupid. So it doesn't matter. But hopefully in all this blow. I mean, no, it's not going to blow over. What am I talking? She is not going to. She's grieving as we speak. But I'm telling you, if they do not convict him, if they do not put him under the jail, under the prison, because the father can bail him out of jail. The father's a millionaire. The father can say, look, make a plea deal for you, make a plea for yourself, tell them where the remaining parts are, and you possibly maybe can have a lighter sentence. That's I told you this is my biggest fear. And if that happens, we don't know how stable the mother is. Right now, as we speak, we don't know how stable the mother is. We don't even know where the father is. I still don't even know where the freaking father is. You got it.
I don't think they're gonna let him out. And Nancy Grace, from what I saw, and we had to be very, very, very careful. Considering where we are in these revolutionary and nation building times. But she did a very good job of really just acknowledging, she's a professional. And not only that, it sounded like she had also been through her own experiences. But she did a really good job just adoring, our sister that passed away. She really did a good job lifting her up, like showing her pictures, and she's gonna but it also sounded like they were ready to kind of get down to business with it too. her and her friends up there. It sounded like they were ready to go ahead and start putting stuff together. So
His trial, the trial is on Monday, by the way. So I will be listening close. His trial is on Monday. So I'm very anxious. I'm trying to find the link.
that was fast.
It's been weeks, and they want closure. They want closure to what the hell's going on. Pisses me off just as much. And again, what since you're here, I can ask you, what is a 19-year-old doing with a 33-year-old?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, she's an adult, so, and but with that being said, it's nothing you can really think of to make this make sense. You know, so because we could think of all the reasons. Yep, we could think of a lot of reasons, but this guy, from what we're seeing here, definitely nothing for us to be playing around with. I mean, because even if he was 33, he don't have no business doing that at all. Whether it's yeah,
he had no type of business.
yeah, oh, right, exactly. Yeah, and so yeah, I see where you're coming from when you say that, but still, even if that was the case, what he did is like it's out of here. It's not how how us as human beings, hopefully, the things we do, and not the way we carry ourselves.
She won't get a proper burial.
Right.
She
was. I mean, if they find out some more information, then maybe they can, put something together.
They have to find the remains.
Yeah.
They have to find the remains, try to put it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I said this earlier. I would not be surprised if she pulled a Emmett Till to an open casket to show the remains of the, Sade. I wouldn't be surprised or shocked about that. But the one thing that will baffle me if this boy gets out, if he is out and about.
There ain't no way.
This is just, I've seen, I'm trying to tell you, I've seen stuff like this. I've seen it, and I'm being called here, but give me 1 second.
Maxwell Stephen Anderson, who lives in the 3100 block of South 39th Street, where he was arrested after a traffic stop near the home. A search warrant was conducted.
Not only did blood evidence emerge in his home, this guy, this idiot, technical legal term, left a phone trail a mile wide. When you look at his home, you think, wow, beautiful yard, immaculately kept. You know why? Not because of him. 33-year-old former high school football star. He's a nepotism baby. This 33-year-old guy, Maxwell Anderson, has a millionaire dad who ran a Milwaukee insurance brokerage firm. Now, What do we know about him, Alexis Tereszcuk?
He has a rap sheet. He has been arrested for not just arrested, convicted for domestic abuse, for disorderly conduct, and for drunk driving. This guy has a rap sheet a mile long. He is not an upstanding citizen of the community. And as I said, these are not just arrests. We're waiting to hear from. He has been convicted of all three of these things.
Did you just say he's not an upstanding member of the community? You know what? That
because Sade is. Look at her
putting
family,
perfume
her
on
friends.
the pig. Guys, listen to Sydney Summer Crime Online following what Alexis has just told us.
Growing up the son of a millionaire businessman, Maxwell Anderson was a Catholic school prep football star with a bright future. Anderson works for his millionaire dad's insurance companies with limited success, but when his father moves to Florida, Anderson stays in Milwaukee working as a bartender. A former co-worker of Anderson, Samantha Brenner, describes Anderson as erratic, sometimes getting drunk while bartending at Victor's nightclub. A friend describes Anderson as childish and having quite the temper.
Joining me right now is renowned forensic psychologist and mediator, Dr. John Delatorre. Now, Delatorre, no offense to bartenders, my brilliant niece tended bar for a while she was in graduate school. Long story short, what do you think this mom and dad are thinking about right now? They pump all this money, all this time into their son. It turns out to be a 33-year-old abuser of alcohol, bully, tending bar erratically when he shows up to work.
Yeah, listen, they probably know who he is, and I'm gonna be real frank with you here, Nancy. This isn't the first person that he's done this to. Sade is not the first person. This is someone who has a long history, and I'm not surprised to hear about a rap sheet with disorderly conduct and domestic abuse. This is not someone who just one day decides that he's going to.
No. So the plot thickens. So this is not the again. I said this yesterday. This is not the first. And she wasn't the last. He had three priors. 3. And nobody said anything?
Right. And the fact he stayed back in Milwaukee, it's like, what are you staying back there for? Are you waiting for something? Are you
anybody? Oh, I don't know how you would feel about a person digging a big giant hole. I mean, is he a gardener?
Right. And someone should have reported it to the city.
What?
Most neighbors, if most neighbors, depending on where you are, if they see something like that, they probably report it to somebody. Because you know how people are, like they got their Ring camera set up, and if they see anything being done in anybody's yards or anything like that, they're questioning. So maybe they decided not.
That's his.
It's not though, because it depends on. Yeah.
Don't get me. Can we be frank? Can we keep it? Can we keep it 1,000? It's a white. In a white world with white laws, he can do any and everything, and no one asks questions. Yet, if that were my house,
I would be asking
the police.
Absolutely. They was like, why? They were like the zoning, and it's not allowed. It's not appropriate. You know, it's an eyesore. But I was gonna tell you because absolutely because you remember one black guy, he got arrested. And I think he works, you know, in the White House. He got arrested for going into his own house.
Yeah.
But this guy is digging this big hole in his backyard and nobody's. But maybe, you know, depends on what neighborhood you're in. Because like you said, I do, and that's the same thing what happened with other cases where people would report stuff on white people and no one would do or say anything. So
I'm, you know, quite frankly, I'm concerned for you.
why are you saying that?
I'm concerned for you. I'm concerned for, well, I'm concerned for everybody due to the fact that this world is getting worse. And then for the simple fact that if you let they said that there was little evidence to convict him. What about DNA? Unless you carve off your fingertips so they won't, when you come in for what they call it, I'm blanking.
Okay, but when you have a whole team of other white people coming against you, he might be getting ready to get discarded.
Yeah. So I'm gonna burn
Because
my
you-
fingertip.
You heard what she said.
Fingerprint me. They try to fingerprint me. You can't get no fingerprints because my shit's carved off. I love murder mystery. I love murder mystery. Was this a crime of passion? Of course. Was this a crime of hatred? Absolutely. But again, I asked this yesterday. What do you find attractive in a male who looks like freaking Scarface? Not Scarface, Mask. If anybody has seen Mask, this is back in the day. If anybody who's seen Mask, with just Google it, and it has Cher. It has Cher in it, the singer, right? Actor / singer. He looked just like that dude. Why do you find this attractive? You find this mother attractive? Really?
And also with, you know, things that people were describing him, you know, working with him and stuff like that.
Look like a goddamn caveman. Me like black woman. Call me crazy.
And again, you know what? This guy, oh, you heard what she said. She said he's not an upstanding member of the community at all.
No shit. He has a rich daddy, which he is very, very spoiled. You have a rich father, and you still do this? Hold on, I got to find something out. Hold on.
To stalk a 19-year-old and then dismembered. This isn't someone that does that. This is someone who has been long planning and been engaging in problematic behaviors, escalating them each time so that eventually he's comfortable with actually doing the things that he's been fantasizing about. His parents knew who he was, and they tried and they did whatever it was that they tried and they did to get him to not do those things, but ultimately he was going to do it anyway.
Reminder, the 33-year-old suspect bartender Maxwell Anderson has not been convicted, simply arrested at this juncture. Delatorre, you're also airbrushing the truth. Let me talk about this guy. Police find a foot, apparently human flesh, at a playground, pink nail polish matching up. In the home, they find blood, gasoline containers, packages addressed to the defendant, very important, blood on a comforter, blood scattered throughout the home. Let me tell you this, and I'm going to go to you, Faddis, with me, high-profile trial lawyer, TV legal analyst, founding partner of the Warner Faddis Elite Legal Group. Eric, I agree with Delatorre. This isn't his first time at the rodeo. You don't go from 0 to 120 mph in 2 seconds. There has to be something, some revving up to not only a murder, but a luring her onto a date. How many times do you think he watched her come in, have a drink, have dinner, anything like that, before he gets the guts up to say, hey, would you like to go to dinner? He planned this. You think you go from 0 to murder and dismemberment in one night? Oh, I agree with Miss Scarborough. This is not his first time, and Delatorre hit the nail on the head. What about it, Eric?
Yeah, Nancy, it's chilling to think about what was going through Maxwell Anderson's mind, allegedly, as he appears to have been preparing for this. You know, the details give rise to a predatory nature here. There's a huge age gap, right? And then there's also a friend who says that Maxwell Anderson had a 5-foot by 6-foot deep hole dug in his backyard. And then we look at the rapidity, how quickly this turned from a murder to dismemberment like overnight. That's not something that just happens on a whim, in my personal opinion. That's something that was planned out and is just grotesque in terms of what we're learning.
There's so much in this guy's criminal history. Of course, he is presumed innocent until proven guilty in the current case. You know, I'm looking at a photo of him holding onto a strap in a bus. Apparently, the Milwaukee Transit captured the face of the subject boarding and remaining on a bus. The booking photo seems to be the same guy wearing the exact clothing depicted on the subject who fled the scene of the car arson, including a large tan backpack with tan stripes. Also feeding it, there's the shot, Alexis, that we got from the affidavit, which is very lengthy, that goes to corroborate the gas cans found in his home. He is the guy, according to police, that burned Sade's car that she worked so hard to buy, all on her own, holding down
and there was
2
an
jobs.
eyewitness for that.
Suspect? No, not suspect. There is no such thing. You're probably the first generation rich kid. But yet you found somebody that you despised, you hated, and you acted all friendly towards her. And because you didn't get what you wanted, allegedly, you do this to her. Oh, there's some narcissistic people out here in this world. But this is a This is my passion. So, in conclusion of this, and I'm waiting for the trial. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the trial so that I can get more clarity of this, and maybe we can hear from him. But until that point, I am going to say sayonara to this, and I will be back. I will be back to cover this. Just giving updates of they found the remains of her body. Still looking, still searching for the rest of her body. Um, it's tragic. It's a shame, but we have to be careful. We have to be careful. And at some point, people, at some point, when is this other shit gonna get old? I could care less of how many people that I get. But y'all get so many people. I ought to just stop being me and just say fuck all women, and I'll just be drowning with views, drowning with cash app, drowning with membership. But that's not me. That's not me. Bounties. Bounties is a thing. Bounties is a thing now. I don't do bounties. If I do not like you, I just simply just boot you off. People will do anything for a buck. It's like we try if that whole DL situation. I'll try talking to Sherelle that, but then again I was like, no, I don't, because the only thing he's gonna do is have excuses for him. Money. It's all about money. So I hope they find the rest of her body. My heart and my spirit is with the family, with the Robinson family. Thank God we're not related. Um, I have a god sister, same name. I called her up. No, we're not. We're not related. I'm like, okay. But I'm about to get off of here. Like I said, I'll I'll continue this. I'm just waiting for the trial. The trial's on Monday, and we'll see what transpires. But but thank y'all for the support. I really thank y'all. Y'all been helping for the support. Um, I'll I'll hit you up a little later. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thanks for having me up, and thanks for sharing this information again. See you soon.
See you soon.